Welcome to a brand new episode of the TF Motorsports official podcast. I'm Thomas Frasco, going solo tonight. Again, this is a unusual date for where we would usually have the podcast. Again, sorry about that. Yesterday, just wasn't feeling it, but thankfully, I'm feeling a lot better today. Work wasn't really that crazy, so we will be getting into all the stuff from the recaps to the predictions to news and all that such. So let's actually get started with the results from last weekend. So Arlington. So we're gonna start off with the good here. Arlington was fantastic. We had some great moments through and through. Scoring I thought was fair. And racing had some great moments, especially the final round, which winning that would be Adam Anderson and Gravedigger over Ryan Anderson and Son of a Digger in one of the closest Chicago-style racings I think I've ever seen. Like, it was right down to the wire, and you could barely see who got it, but it was just Adam. So, congratulations to him again. I don't think he's won racing in a while. Going into skills, Tristan England being Tristan England, nailing down another skills challenge win. Freestyle would be Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt just edging out Zach Gardner and Wildside. And going to the overall event championship, it was Bryce Kenny and Monster Mutt getting it by 3 points over Ryan Anderson. And Freestyle had some really, really big moments again. There was just a lot of air in freestyle at Arlington. There was just a lot of air, great moments, and Bryce just letting it eat. I mean, he's just been getting so good this year. But Tristan England still having the lead just by 14 points, though, in the points going into this weekend. Ryan Anderson second, Bryce Kenny third, Zach Garner up to fourth, Todd LeDuc got some more success. He moves up to fifth. Adam Anderson down to sixth, even with that racing win. Mike Pagliaro now seventh. Colvinard eighth. Caleb Blood ninth. Jamie Garner 10th. Nick 11th. And Matt last. And I think this weekend they're going to be taking their points. They're going to have another points break. So it'll be a few of the guys going in an arena show, and the other guys can do whatever they want. Yeah, all in all, Arlington was really, really good. But unfortunately, even though that this show had some good moments, can't really be said too much about Jacksonville. Jacksonville did have some great freestyles and some big moments, but I don't know. Racing had that big blunder we'll talk about. Skills I thought was okay. Freestyle. I mean, yeah, and we'll get to that one, and then overall, we'll get to that as well. So first off, we go to racing, and we're actually going to go to the semifinals. Barney Musauer and Zombies facing off against Colt Stevens and Thunder Roris, and we saw the shot, and we could easily see that Colt Stevens got ahead, and he's moving to the final round. But then we get the call that Barney Musauer won, and they even showed the replay, Colt Stevens clearly crossing the finish line first, and then they went and tried to do that I forgot what it was called, but it was like that thing where it was like on a graph and it's like new technology. They tried to show that Barney Musauer was ahead from like the truck panel, but from like all the shots I've seen from the stands, all of them showed that Colt got it easily. And heck, even Barry said that I think he might have gotten him there. I really hope that Monster Jam from here on out doesn't really rely on the time or that system if it's like a finish like that. Like in a scenario like this where it's clear as day Colt Stevens got it, but like if the time is off and like if that other thing is off, but you could clearly see that one driver's ahead of the other, then I feel that they should just make the call themselves based off of the footage, because I think that's what they should do. They should start with the footage, then go to the times, and then go to that electrical system. I mean, they got Ryan and Adam right, and even like that race, the lines were farther out, and the finish was even closer, and they nailed that one on the dime. But somehow they didn't do well with that semifinal matchup. Yeah, there was a lot of people pissed off on that one, myself included. I don't know why Monster Jam's been messing up some of the racing stuff recently. They got the West Tour finally figured out, and now they're fumbling the bag with the East Tour. Like, and it's odd too, because like the finish lines are a lot more closer together compared to where they were in Arlington. So, um, yeah, that I'm still questioning, but I should probably get off topic and go to somewhere else. So skills, Cannon Murphy, Classroom Crusher, nailed down a decent skills run, got him the win. Freestyle, Joe Foley nailed down a great run, and he got this like barrel roll save, backflip, good air, and then Barry got some good air, got a backflip, and got like a little like a minor little save, but he got like really bigly scored, 9.601. Honestly, I do feel Joe Foley should have gotten that, but like by a little bit though. Bari did a great job, but I think Joe Foley just had that wow factor, and I think that's why I think he should have won that one. One thing to note: Tyler Menega, he was out in the racing competition. It started off in round number 2. He was facing off against Chris Kohler and Mayhem, and what ended up happening was going down the straightaway, going to the final turn. The motor blew, and I'm guessing because of the new chassis or some sort, they just could not repair in time. So for skills and freestyle, he was out and did not compete. So he dropped down 26 points. And Bari Musauer, I don't know if this is the first time in his career, but it's really cool to see. Bari got one of my predictions right. I did not get the prediction right for Stadium Series West, but Stadium Series East, I got it correct. Bari Musauer takes the lead in Zombie, and hopefully he's able to keep up that success. Tyler Menega second, Cannon Murphy third, Dalton Widener fourth, Armando Castro up to fifth, Colt Stevens sixth, Jim Kohler seventh, Cynthia Gauthier eighth, Chris Kohler ninth, Mike Christensen 10th, Joe Foley second to last, and Kevin Crocker still last. Now we're going to go into the Arena Series. We're first going to go to the Weston Anderson show at Fresno, California. They had a 4-show weekend. And we're actually going to first go over news going into the arena side, because this kind of ties in to arenas. So Monster Jam, without really announcing, but just kind of happened through their streams, and some people who are, I think, are close to Monster Jam or whatnot, posted on Facebook that the third competition's not going to be there no more for the arenas. Now, Sky Wheelies, Donuts, they've been discontinued. It's only going to be racing, skills, and freestyle for even the arena shows. And the freestyle time is still the same. They still got freestyle motocross, but the only thing that they really did was take away Sky Wheelies and Donuts. Now, I could see why they did it. Donuts, they kind of messed it up after like quite a bit, because they like added like a time, I think, to it, so drivers weren't really able to get a good spin. So it just kind of, you know, they had to kind of rush through it, so you weren't really able to get good donuts unless if you went to Monster Jam ramped up. And then Sky Release was entertaining. Don't get me wrong. Again, like at Newark, had a fun time with that. But looking at like a cruise perspective, removing that competition now saves a lot of money and a lot of parts, and gives them a better shot. And especially since freestyle is like the next competition over, uh, that'll save them, a tie rod or like a chassis part. So that's a good change. But I got two things to point out now. So first of all, what will replace it? Now, obviously, no monster truck competition, but I'm just saying because now the shows are just about an hour and 40 or an hour and 50 minutes, like less than 2 hours now. If you take away trackside, of course. What should replace it? Again, I'm hoping that they replace it going forward, like maybe with like a side act or something like quad racing, or if they can bring back T-shirts. Because again, every single time I go to Monster Jam or some show, I always hear about the T-shirt cannon. So maybe they could bring that back, like something. Because then otherwise the show is too short. Because with the track layout and the amount of drivers and what they got going, that's what I think. Again, you got freestyle motocross, but there should be something to kind of piece it all together. So I think either add on quad racing or T-shirts, heck, maybe both. Just something where the fans could still go there, get their hard-earned money paid, and they could still enjoy like a decent long show. Because again, I think for a Monster Jam show, it should be 2 hours because I don't think we've ever had an era where there's only 3 competitions for an arena. Because I remember for like generations, it was ever since like the 2000s, it was racing. Or first it was Sky Wheelies, then it was racing, then it was donuts, and then it was freestyle on like every track. And even Freestyle Mania, they had like timed racing, so it still wasn't just 3 competitions. But with this, now it's only 3 competitions. So now the shows are like the shortest they've ever been. So I think what Monster Jam should do is add an extra side act or two. Like have my request where it's like ATV racing or Speedster racing if they could find it. But obviously not have the Monster Jam drivers do it, but have someone else get hired to do it. And then have T-shirts, like T-shirt cannons. Because again, I hear so many people talk about T-shirt cannons. You might as well bring that back. And if we do that, the shows will be better, I think, at like the time. Because then we'll just reach the 2 hour mark, and that should be enough. So that's all I'm asking for at least the future. And then the second part is, why do it mid-season? Like recently, they've been doing a lot of mid-season changes, like the freestyle rule, the professional judges with the fan judges mid-season. Like, I hate this idea of changing things mid-season. It's kind of like playing God. What they should do is plan ahead and have those changes implemented by the next season. Like next time if they do something, because if they're just doing these changes mid-season, this could get like very hard to follow, or like if someone's going like solely for the sky wheelies and then you just like take it away like that for the rest of the guys, then it feels like they got gypped. Like that's kind of what I'm getting at. What they should have done was at least keep those competitions for at least the rest of the season, and then take them off for the next season, so we know exactly what we're getting into for the next season, and it's not just happening at random. So that's my little take on that. So let's go into arena recaps now. So first, we got the Weston Anderson show. We start off Friday evening. It was Cody Saucier and Dragon getting the racing victory. Tim Hall Jr. would get the two-wheel skills win in Jurassic Attack. Gotta love it. And then freestyle and overall was Dragon with Cody Saucier. Saturday, Brianna Mahan finally gets that break that she's been needing. So Weston Anderson would get the racing win and the skills win, but Brianna Mahan was just right there, losing in the final round, then just getting second in skills, but managed to get a great freestyle win and that boosted her up to the overall event championship. So she finally got that big break. Then we get to Saturday evening. Cody once again got a racing victory. Weston would get a skills win and a freestyle win, but because of that racing loss and because of Megalodon being so consistent, the overall event championship would go to Ashley Sanford and Megalodon. Going into Sunday afternoon, Weston Anderson would get racing. He would get freestyle and overall, but Brianna Mahan would get skills. Brianna finally got that momentum on that weekend. Now going into the points, Weston Anderson just still has that dominating lead, 243 points over Cody. And now that the competition's kind of got shorter, now they got a lot of ground to make up in order to dethrone Weston. You got Weston in first, Cody second, Devin Winfield third, Brianna Mahan fourth, Tim Hall Jr. fifth, Ashley Sanford sixth, Berto Trevino seventh, and Corey Rummel last. Going into our next stop, this will be, let's see, we're going to go to Texas. We're going to go to, I'm going to try to pronounce this right. I'm probably going to butcher it. Let's see. I did not practice during this. Hidalgo, Texas. If I mispronounce it, don't kill me, please. Going into this grueling 5-show weekend. Yeah, seriously, these guys are crazy. Timed racing because of the floor space. So that would go to Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger. Tony Oaks would get the skills victory, and then freestyle would go to Monster Mutt Dalmatian with Blake Granger. But Tony Oaks just had enough points to get the overall event championship in Thunder Roars. He will follow that success with a timed racing win, skills win, and an overall for Saturday afternoon. But the freestyle competition win would go to MJ Solario and El Toro Loco. Saturday evening would feature Blake Granger getting the timed racing win. Then skills would go to Fernando Martin. MJ Solario. I got him mixed up in El Toro Loco. But then freestyle would go to Tony Oaks and Thunder Roars. But being consistent enough, it would be Blake Granger and Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Sunday afternoon, we have Blake Ranger and Monster Mutt Dalmatian getting the timed racing win, the skills win, and the overall, but Tony Oaks would get the freestyle win. And Sunday evening, Blake Ranger would follow that up with time racing, skills, and overall, but this time Kristen Anderson would get a Ragged Edge Gravedigger run, getting the freestyle victory. Blake Ranger, dominating. 101 points over MJ Solario. MJ Solario is getting a little bit more success. He's now second in El Toro Loco. Tony Oaks third, Kristen Anderson fourth, Brandon Telechka fifth, Michaela Telechka sixth, Mark Hall seventh, and Kirk Kramer last. While we get to our next points, I just want to mention about the West Series I forgot to mention. Weston Anderson threw down like a Ragged Edge, like Gravedigger run. And if it's somewhere out there, you should check it out. I forgot which show it was, but he just did a fantastic run. And then there was like another show where like during freestyle, he had this like screw all moment where he just turned the wheels. He tried to do that thing, I think maybe like last week, where it was like a flat spin or a corkscrew of some sort. But the truck ended up just landing right on the side. Like it was just a jump crash pretty much, which was pretty cool. All right, so now going into this, Matt Cody struggled, and as a result, throughout the entire weekend, he only got one victory, and that was Sunday afternoon freestyle. Other than that, he was struggling for quite a good portion of the weekend. So going into it, first we'll start off with Friday evening. Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash would get the timed racing win. She would also get skills, freestyle, and overall, and just sweep Friday. Sparkle Smash's first sweep, and it's all because of Jamie Sullivan. Congrats to her on that big accomplishment. Going into Saturday afternoon, she would follow that up with another timed racing win, but the rest of the competition, skills, freestyle, and overall, will go to John Zimmer Jr. and Terminal Velocity. Saturday evening, Jamie Sullivan would get timed racing, skills, and overall, but Fernando Martinez, El Toro Loco, would get the freestyle victory. Sunday afternoon, Jamie Sullivan once again would get the timed racing victory, skills victory, and overall, but Matt Cody and Gravedigger would get the freestyle victory that night. And then Sunday evening, Jamie Sullivan again on the tear, getting timed racing, skills, and overall, but Fernando Martinez would get the freestyle win. Jamie Sullivan, I think, finally got to pre-injury 2014, just in the beginning of the year. She's finally back to that state where she is just incredibly competitive, and now it's starting to show in the points because we have a crazy top three. Matt Cody and John Zimmer Jr. are tied in first with 110 points, but only 9 points behind is Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash. Again, if you're looking for an arena tour to watch, check out the Central Tour. This tour is the best currently in the arena series. Fernando Martinez only behind by 45 points. He is still also in striking distance, but everyone else, they got a lot of ground to work up. Triton Robbins, Crazy Train, 221 points behind. John Zimmer Sr. and Zombie moves up a little bit. He's 260 points behind, though, and then 321 points is Montana Robinson Plain Crazy, and Angelina Knock is last, 323 points behind. So, at least for now, for the next couple months, the top four is what you got to watch. Matt Cody, John Zimmer Jr., Jamie Sullivan, and Fernando Martinez. Those four are kicking ass, and I'm really loving every second of it. And that is your recaps. And I love talking about the Central Tour. That was awesome. And even though I might not be too available throughout the weekend, I hope that I can capture some moments from the Central Tour. Watch it live, maybe on the way to Bridgeport. Hopefully. But now it's time to go into a little bit of news. We got some news here. Want to give a big shout out to our guys at All Monster. What's happening with those guys is they are finally coming back to the podcast scene. I think it's been a while since they've did their podcast. I think it's been a couple years, but again, since they're a pretty big name like the Monster Blog, we just want to bring them up and get them noticed. So if you guys love Monster Truck podcasts like this one, or the Monster Talk Bonus Time podcast, or Crush This, or Inside Monster Jam, check out allmonster.com podcast. Coming up pretty soon this week, and bet your ass I'm going to be watching it too. It's definitely a really, really great podcast. I listened to older episodes. I enjoyed them. And I'm excited for these new ones, finally. We got more Monster Truck podcasts in the community. And, let's also not forget Gears and Nachos. Can't forget that one. Just support your Monster Truck podcast, and this will add more cool stuff to the community. All right, let's see. What else we got here for the news? Because I know we had some other bits of news for the week. Monster Truck Throwdown. For the first time ever, they're going to California. And they're actually going to the Sauna Sports Complex. Monster Jam might not be going there anymore. And as a result, Monster Truck Throwdown stepped in, and they're getting their big break. This is like the closest thing to a stadium show, I think, because you got like the surrounding grandstands and whatnot. It looks like a very, very cool show. And if I was in California, which again, I'm all the way east from that, if I was in California, I'd be buying tickets ahead of time. So if you're in the area and if you want to go to that, get your tickets as soon as you can. It's coming June 1st, Sauna Sports Complex. It's one of the top tier independent tours, Monster Truck Throwdown. Congratulations to those guys on making a big break. Let's see. Again, I got to kind of skim through notes. I got fan questions coming up later. Trying to remember. Okay. All right. So we got two things we're going to talk about from the Inside Monster Jam podcast from Scott Jordan, our Lord and Savior Scott Jordan. Obviously, we're big fans of Scott Jordan here on the channel, and we got some stuff to hear from him. We actually got some clips from people in the TF Motorsports Discord. Just making sure I get the right ones here.
Jalen Edwards Smith, given the fan response, is there any chance the World Finals?
Okay, yeah, here we go. So, I got two. Got two for you. So, we're going to start with actually one more of a lighter note. We're going to start with, the Colt Stevens pillow. I know, this has been almost kind of put to death, but it's just a nice, funny running joke on the channel. Kind of crazy how it started 2023 during that Monster Jam kickoff. And the Colt Stevens pillow, I found that hilarious. I made an edit. And then I had that to the video. And then kind of brought it up periodically, and then for the podcast I went ape shit on some of the episodes and really went crazy on it. And now it's pretty much like an inside joke for TF Motorsports. But now someone asked about the pillow, and this is what Scott Jordan had to say. Let's take a look.
Monster Aviation is asking, how is your Colt Stevens pillow doing? Well, I gave that to Colt after we did the game show. I hope he still has it. Maybe it was an engagement gift for his fiancee Miranda. So happy engagement to you. Congratulations. And if you have the pillow, Miranda, hang on to it because I miss it.
And yep, so now Colt Stevens now has that pillow, and Scott Jordan is really missing that dang pillow. And I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, it like, I don't usually use, like, today's lingo, but I just gotta say it here. It has this sort of aura to it, you know? It's just that image of Colt Stevens with, like, a Monster Jam background on a pillow. It's just luxurious in a way. Like, if you were to bring that pillow in public, people would think you're rich, and they'd be begging for money. It's just full-on luxury. Makes you look cool. I don't know. I'm just saying stuff, but you know what? I do want to say this. If someone could clip this and send this to Scott Jordan, I'd appreciate it. And this is what I'm going to say here. Scott Jordan, I know you miss that pillow. I know you do. And hear me out here. What if I'm pretty sure there's websites out there. What if I just order a custom, like one of them custom basic pillows with Colt Stevens slapped on it, and I'll send it to you free of charge. I pay for it. And I'm being serious. If you agree to it, I'll do it. I got some money I can spend. And heck, I might even throw something extra too, maybe like a bonus gift with the pillow. You know, it's like one of them things from like Billy Mays with those infomercials. Like, I'm not done yet, you know, call right now and I'll do something to make it unique. I don't know, but yeah, say yes and how we'll do so and ship it to you. Anyway, we got the other part of the podcast about the Monster Jam World Final schedule. Again, this has been a hot topic for the last 3 months now, where they changed the schedule. People were pissed, and then people never forgot about it. Last month, they were going crazy over the typing, and now this month, so many fans apparently was asking about that question, and one of them got to the podcast, and this is what Scott Jordan had to say.
Jalen Edwards Smith, given the fan response, is there any chance the World Finals format will be changed to more traditional format? I got this question a lot. So, Jalen, I love you. I appreciate you. But everybody that asked this question and about the expert judge, look right here into the camera. It's me and you. No. I went to Jamie Dulsing for this. I talked to him about that, and Jamie is a stand-up guy. He loves to answer your questions. So Jamie has agreed to come on this show 2 weeks from now and answer these questions. He will discuss the World Finals format. He will discuss the expert judge. He'll fill you in on the state of Monster Jam and what cool things are coming up. But we're going to World Finals. I'm excited about the format, and Jamie will be here to discuss all of that with us.
And yet, that's the news. Monster Jam is still going to be going with the format, so we're just going to have to deal with it going forward into July. Now, from the way Hello's worded, I wonder if they're going to make this permanent. I wonder if they're going to make this a permanent format. If they make this a permanent format, again, there could be challenges and like major problems with it, especially when it comes to like weather on one day and then dry on the next when they're spreading out the competitions. But I've heard from Salt Lake City, it's usually dry at the time that they're doing it, so they're not really going to be concerned with rain. But if they continue this throughout the next few years or so, again, it's not confirmed. I'm just assuming. If they continue this throughout the next few years, we might be seeing problems down the road. But I'm hoping they don't have problems if they do have it. But if they just do it for Salt Lake, because maybe it's just Salt Lake, who knows? We'll have to find out in a couple weeks, because I think that next episode of or 2 episodes from the one they just did, for the Monster Jam podcast, maybe that might be. Also, yeah. Shout out to Inside Monster Jam for the 100th episode. Congratulations. And also, Scott Jordan, you're the man. Again, as I've said earlier, we are big Scott Jordan fans here. Definitely a man with a lot of talent and helping Monster Jam evolve, really. So, we're going to get into our own fan questions. We only have about, I'd say 4 maybe. So, let's get into them right now. So, from Mike Trapper, he puts both Zach Garner and Bryce Kenny are the freestyle winners in Arlington. I don't care what people say. Yeah, both were very neck and neck. But Bryce just had a little bit, but still, it was just very, very great. I'm excited to see like what's gonna happen within a few weeks, because again, this week they're taking a week off, but the following week I believe they'll be back. But still, very great talent. Monster Jams, but with like a V instead of an A, so it's Monster JVM responds with, what are your thoughts on the new format for arenas for Monster Jam? Obviously, I just talked about it earlier. Again, gives the drivers and the crews a little bit of a break, a little bit a little bit more time to kind of prep for freestyle, and also less money to really kind of be thrown around. But I do hope that they add an extra side act, like quads or speedsters or like t-shirt toss or something like that from like other people, but not the drivers. So then the drivers do their 3 competitions, and then they got stuff for the fans. Because right now it's only just that in freestyle motocross, and the shows are just less than 2 hours. So I hope and pray that they add stuff going forward. So then it kind of, it's not like like honestly, it's just like it's not really like not too long anymore. It's a lot quicker. Like you can like you can go in there and come back and you're already done. So I do hope that they fix stuff moving forward. Like add an extra side act and let the show drag just a little bit longer, at least to like 2 hours. I think once you reach the 2 hour mark, you're fine. Sorry about that brain fuck. Again, work really does a number on me, and yesterday I felt awful, but even though that today I am doing this and I am kind of functional, I still have some problems here. We got Bone Man Hansen asks, what's your least favorite independent truck, but you like the driver? That's a very interesting question. I don't think I've heard of a question like that before. Oh God. I don't know. Uh, it really is a very tough question. I it's so tough to choose. It's like it's one of those situations. I guess maybe like Aftershock's a great name, but like I think the chassis needs to be redone. I think that's what I'll go for, because again, I've met Kyle Seasock, and he's a very very great guy, just like J.R. Seasock as well. So I guess I'll go with the Aftershock truck, just because the chassis I don't think is fit for some of the shows, and they should like maybe redo the chassis. I don't know. It's a very very tough question, so I really had to dig for that one, and I'm not even that confident for my answer. Uh, and then another one that we kind of already touched upon, which was Andy Leseski went and put thoughts on Bari pulling away on Stadium East, and thoughts on John Zimmer Jr. now tied, and Jamie only 9 points behind. So Bari, again, I'm glad he's getting all that success. Although the racing call was a little odd in semis, and freestyle was a little iffy, I'm still glad that he took the lead, and now he's getting now that series is starting to spice up a little bit. And then Arena Central, again, all I have to say is that's Arena Central for you. Obviously, we had that teeny little stretch of Matt Cody walking away, but throughout that weekend, all the other drivers were really kicking his ass, and now they're right on him. And Matt Cody and John Zimmer Jr. are now tied. Jamie Sullivan third, and even then, don't leave out Fernando Martinez. He's only 45 or 40 something points behind, and he's still got a chance to get up there and make up more ground if he has success the next time he's out there. So a lot of good stuff coming, and I'm really, really excited. I'm really happy for that tour, and I hope to see them. Hope to see them more often. All right, so before we get into predictions and wrap up the podcast, just want to point out that Motorsports Hour is coming back. We're gonna kick things off in May. We're either going to try to shoot for Accord Speedway or Orange County Fair Speedway for street stock racing. We're going to cover some of those throughout both tracks. Then we have our monster truck schedule slowly making up ground. But again, with how the monster truck schedule usually is, it's kind of a little bit time consuming to try to find dates. Or usually they reveal the dates a little later, but we'll keep you updated on some more information as Motorsports Hour creeps ever so closely to Season 3. And again, if you have not seen Season 1 or Season 2, I highly suggest you do, for a little bit of hype for the new season. And keep in mind, we got some new things in the works, and hopefully the episodes feel a little different by Season 3. Some graphics might stay the same, and others might change. That's all I'll say about that. Alright, so we're going into... looks like all 5 tours are running in some way, shape, or form. So we'll start off with the Weston Anderson show, the West Series going to Albuquerque for a 4-show weekend, and as the usual, we go over our predictions. And since there's one competition less, it might be going a little bit quicker than usual. Alright, so going in for racing, again, I always got to say Cody. Cody Saucier and Dragon, he's just been so consistent with his racing. He's been very, very well with it. I'm really excited to see what he can do going in. Then we have the skills competition. Weston Anderson usually nails down some great skills runs. Really excited to see what he can do. And freestyle, also going to go with Weston in overall. Again, Weston's usually dominating. Even though that Brianna Mahan had some great success throughout last weekend, I think Weston will come back and get back to that winning way and just build on that crazy lead he already has. And now with one competition less, there could be a chance where he can just walk away early with that points championship now that there's a little less to work with. And now the excuse me, jeez, the series that a lot of people are looking forward to watching is going to have another 5-show weekend, another grueling 5-show weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be the Central Tour. Starting things off in racing, we're going to go for a crazy pick. We're going to pick Crazy Train Triton Robbins. The last racing thing was time trials. He's usually better at regular racing, and if it's regular racing at Toledo, I think he'll be able to go and bring up that win. Skills, John Zimmer Jr., terminal velocity. He's just been very, very, really nailing it now. And now that he's tied for first, there's a good chance that he could come back to that number one spot pretty soon out of the weekend. And then freestyle and overall, we're going to go with Jamie Sullivan and Sparkle Smash. She's been very, very competitive. And last weekend, she really started to gain up some momentum. I got a feeling that Jamie Sullivan is going to get some more success. And she will walk away with... excuse me, she'll walk away with freestyle and overall for one of the shows. And then, Arena Championship Series East will be going into their next stop. This would be a little hard to pronounce here. Tupelo, I believe, the East Tour. Arena East. They're going to be going off throughout a 3-show weekend. I have heard rumors that it might be a non-points weekend. Again, I'm not sure, but because Kurt Kramer is running Hot Sea instead of ammunition. So whether or not we're still going to be covering the points. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so yeah, I believe it is a non-points weekend because there is some drivers that are missing from the lineup, like Blake Granger and Tony Oaks. So unless that's just the website, but I believe it is a non-points weekend. But I'll still give predictions anyway. So going in, I'll still do predictions anyway, just in case. But going into racing, we're gonna go with we're gonna go Kurt Kramer and Hotsy. Just go for a crazy pick there. Skills, we're gonna go with MJ Solorio and El Toro Loco, and freestyle, Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger. Overall, we'll go with the unpredictable one, and we'll go with Brandon Telechka. Just get her done too. Now we get to stadiums, and Stadium West will be taking a weekend off, so we're not going to be doing predictions for that tour because now we know for sure they're going to be doing a break. But obviously with the other tour, I wasn't so sure. But this one, we know for sure they're taking a weekend off. They'll be at Oakland at the Oakland Arena. It'll feature Adam Anderson and Gravedigger, Jamie Gardner, I got them mixed up, and El Toro Loco, Caleb Blood, Sparkle Smash, Todd LeDuc and Megalodon, Tristan England, JCB Digatron, Nick Pecogliaro in Kraken, Mike Pecogliaro in Excalibur, and Zach Gardner in Wildside. They'll be going for 3 shows, and we're excited to see how they do for their little weekend off, and we'll hope the other 4 drivers enjoy their little time off. Then we get to Stadium Championship Series East, the main event of the weekend. They'll be going through both Saturday and Sunday at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. Racing, I think after having that success he had, I think Bari will come back and get another racing victory there. Cannon Murphy, Classroom Crusher, skills once again. I think he'll get, because of how well he did back at the last location, I think he'll do well again, like he did in Jacksonville. And then going for freestyle and overall, we're going to go with Tyler Menega and Gravedigger. Last weekend in the last Jacksonville show until 2028, he blown the engine, and I think there was maybe more to it. But again, just a lot of heartbreak. He lost the points lead. He sat out for skills and freestyle. He wants that redemption, and I think he's going to get that redemption at least one or even both shows at Indianapolis, Indiana. And that's going to do it for the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening in. Hope to see you next week, and hopefully I'll do it on time. Again, it just depends on how I feel. Yesterday, I felt horrible, but thankfully today I felt better, so I was able to get the podcast out for you guys. Hope to see you next week, and don't forget to watch Arena Central. Again, that tour is seriously kick-ass. The friendly reminder, the East Tour is the only stadium tour, and once again, shout out to All Monster with their podcast coming out. So once you see that, tune into that. I'll be tuning in as well. We'll see you guys next week. Also, Colt Stevens pillow. Scott Jordan. I'll send it to you. I'm not joking.